Nations. Alright, and we should be live. I need to take my Quacksire icon off and actually mute the music. Alright, so everything should be ready now. Bit more of a casual tournament this time. No pressure of having 400 people playing and millions of people watching. I'm here with Thrantar again. Do you want to introduce yourself for the new watchers?
Good morning, I'm Trantar. I'm back again. You might have last seen me at the EMEA Continentals casting booth, but today I'm joining Aksu and we are casting this small Eternal tournament.
Yeah, so I think we have 6 or 7 players, and to people who are not familiar with Eternal, there was a post on Null Signal Games where there are like a couple of different lists to play and look at. I think we'll probably see some of these ideas today also. And also Anarcho Mushroom posted these good deck lists that are good to start up with. And we should soon be able to go live.
Yes, I believe pairings have just finished, so we should be seeing the lobbies going up in the next minute or two.
Alright.
So now, I know that I myself am a very recent player at this point. I came in with the release of Parhelion. So Eternal has a lot of cards and decks that I will have never seen before. Is there anything particular I should be watching out for?
Yeah, I started also like during Borealis release or Midnight Sun release, the first part of the set.
The first part, yes.
Yeah, so I neither know all of this like Mumbad or cards before that era, but I have looked at the game at somewhat of like older lists and stuff like that. And also like Ysengrin has done some Eternal content that was really helpful to understanding this. So I think it's kinda rake decks and combo decks on the runner side, and corporations play either combo decks or just some asset spam decks with industrial genomics or different NBN ideas. At least that's what I have been like finding out. And I think
it looks like Streamlabs post in stream chat is a little bit off there.
Yeah, not sure if anybody can fix that, but
okay.
At least I don't know how to fix that, but it's somebody else's job. Yeah, I think pairings just went live. Are the IDs available somewhere, do you know? Oh, there. So a couple of cerebral imaging, sports metal, lots of different IDs, which is nice to see. Do you have any preference on which game to watch from these 4?
If you're looking at the pairings now,
I think something with the sports metal could be interesting. Or if we want to get a basic game first, I think like Augustus Caesar's decks are like some of the more typical ones, or the ideas you could more typically see, or Cobra Bubbles against Milderstor.
I was thinking maybe table 3 we'll see a lot of Wizard as the day goes on.
Yeah, that's probably true. So if we jump on table 3 when it starts up, and I actually get the tables to show up. Yeah, Janet being Janet, it has been quite rough for a bit, but should work out. Mm.
Alright, we're going to stream on table 3. Once you can get...
Yeah, I'm just stuck on the loop.
Yeah, loading the stream. Loading the game.
Mm. Nice. Yeah, sometimes it's rough. Double click attempt reconnecting. Oh. Apparently double clicking the reconnect button works much better. So table 3 is... which one? NB Kelly versus Lara.
Yes.
Yep.
Which should be Industrial Genomics versus Andromeda.
And I think NB Kelly is going to play first here on the corp side.
Yes.
So IG gets all of the trash costs higher with having face down cards on archives, getting this like restoring humanity type of ID, but using that on like to get assets to stick much better on the table. And also there's bunch of like archive poison cards in Eternal apparently. Stuff like Shock and Breach Dome that you just throw out in the archives to make it running it so much more less appealing.
If you die if you touch archives, you could never flip archives to make everything trashable.
Yeah, that's true. But there's like apparently some tech cards like Employee Strike that you can use and then clear out archives if there's not too many of those archive traps in there yet. And Andromeda not having any extra ability during the game, but just starting with 9 cards, increasing the consistency so much.
Andromeda already putting her ability to good work with this opening hand of 9 cards.
And we might see some card like Rebirth to change into Steve during the game, getting DJ Fenris on Criminal also working. But I don't think Criminal has like a clear thing that's best yet, or like doesn't have it. So we might see stuff like crowdfunding, probably account siphon, maybe something like Blue Moose could be on the table as well. And starting with genotyping, getting those face down cards on archives right at the start, making everything so much harder to clear. Yeah, this might be a rough start if you cannot check archives with there being something in there already.
So,
yeah, go ahead.
I'm not that familiar with Eternal, but how bad can 2 face down cards be?
looks like it's one of the classics from current standard.
Killing. Yeah, if you're going to make assets hard to trash, killing is certainly.
Yeah, this is the problem when you just start to get grinded out with discarding Desperado, and Political Operative gets thrown out with the Bioethic Association. So this is like one of the cards from Mambad, which is a political asset that requires there not to be any eyes on top of it, and then it does 1 net damage every turn. So similar to Blooderworth, but you can float any credits you want. And Lara going out to clear archives.
When the genotyping did hit a shock.
But luckily there's just one, so you can get rid of the bioethics right at the start. And second bioethics, clearing out everything, and now just needs to stay safe against the killing and somehow get that out of the table.
We just see the power of Desperado coming in here, already fully refunding its cost to play with just those runs, and further doing that clicklessly.
Yeah, that's true, and also getting this like old standard staple Reseki just rolling from the start. I don't think Reseki is eternal pointed, right?
I don't think so.
Yeah, just getting the extra value from there, and probably playing some sort of like rake deck. And Kelly just ends up throwing a card, getting a second genotyping, which means Lara has to clear out archives again if she wants to go and contest the killing. So finding those shocks again is going to be rough.
I will say these genotypings seem really, really nice. Because not only does it guarantee the 2 face down cards in archives, but as an asset spam list, like you want to recur those assets into R&D, bring back that killing for another go round. How many times can you pay 10 trash killing? It's not that many.
Yeah, that's not going to be fun for you at all. And there also could be like these newer cards like Simulation Reset that you can discard cards from hand and just shuffle out the useful assets to HQ or back into the deck.
Yes. We do see a Bacterial Steel here.
Yeah, and this is probably going to take a second with Janet being really bad on triggering that. I think you'd have to click it like 15 million times to make it disappear.
And Bacterial trashes face down, correct?
I believe so, yeah. Because you haven't seen them yet. And but if you're accessing archives, I believe they get flipped up at the same time because you're accessing all of the cards.
No, I actually know that is incorrect because for breaching archives, you flip and then you access.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Alright, so you cannot even steal the Bacterial from archives without being safe. And like, I know those punitive lists from standard currently that use Bacterial to get another 3-pointer in the bin from the same time.
I also know there's some standard lists with Bacterial right now that use like Bacterial and your digital life and then punitive hue.
Yeah. I don't believe Industrial Genomics can do similar things, even with archives being super poisoned, but when crowdfunding goes down. This is one of the Eternal cards that is currently banned in standard just because it's so much value during the game. It's basically an easy mark that draws you a card, and then you can just refresh it by running 3 times, getting you 3 credits from Desperado and returning 3 copies of crowdfunding to the table. But Lara just has one more card in hand, or one more hand size. So next turn is going to be important for clearing out the killing. Getting rid of
And
it
she is
somehow.
looking pretty low on credits right now.
Mm-hmm.
And this killing's what? 8 to trash?
Yes, something like that. And there's also might be a problem getting into archives now, with archives getting iced. Though I'm not sure which ice Kelly can actually raise there. Oh, and find another bacterial.
On the other hand, all you need to do to win the game is
Just
score 7 points.
Just find the agendas.
And she's currently at 6.
This is the stream where I should have gotten some setup with getting another DB rolling. Because there was a good shout out of a card. So I'm just doing it this way. There was a shout out for Excalibur that is actually just 2 cost that could be protecting archives, meaning that Lara cannot actually go through there anymore. With Excalibur being a mythic ice and that has no subtypes and just makes the one subroutine says that the runner cannot make another rune on this turn.
To be fair, any run that any ice that ends the run would be very hard for.
Yeah, but
right,
how many ice do you have on 2 credits that stop the run? There's Tatu Bola and. But manages to get rid of the killing with just using credits. And getting another grinder on the table with Bladder was just starting to grind the runner down as well.
Now Turtlebuck's coming down, generating some econ for the corp. Make servers, make money.
Yeah, so Turtlebucks just gives you a credit whenever you create a server. Meaning that these whiteboards have a thing that generates them extra value on top of just placing assets down. Oh, I just got thrown out of the game. But luckily,
Welcome back.
Yeah, luckily can connect back. And Kelly dropping from the game. I'm hoping
It is perhaps slightly more important than our casting duo, however much we enjoy being here.
I hope they can get back into the game.
So I'm currently looking at the runner's heap, and I haven't yet seen any influence spends, other than the Rozaki, which is just 2.
Yeah, I'm not sure what there could be. There might be some. I'm not actually sure what Andromeda decks would spend their influence on. Like in beforehand meta, there was stuff like endurance, but I'm not sure if it's powerful enough to be played in standard. Oh, and finds a bioethic as the 3rd bioethics, but doesn't have credits to clear it out. Or just paying 7 or 6 to trash it.
6 to trash it.
Yeah, 6 to trash an asset is going to be not fun. Oh, and there's another one already.
And with these Butterworts, this is just so many cards.
Yeah, you constantly have to draw back up. But
Mhm.
you are already on 6 points, so the game might just end in one access on HQ or R&D.
Yes. And I don't know if Kelly's List is running any traps, if it's safe for Larea to just poke R&D once every turn and go, if there's ever a gent on top, I win. Like, it's that simple.
Yep, I'm not sure if there could be any traps. Something like a snare could be really annoying when you have to pay 4 to actually trash it from central server, but not sure if there's enough space with all of the assets taking up space and ways to clear or keep archives face down take
Exactly.
space. And
I'm also going to shout out these crowdfundings. These are going to be really easy crowds to appeal to on this type of board with Desperado installed.
yeah,
Making
Desperado, and you
free
just
successful runs looks like something I'm going to be doing anyways.
Might be a bit harder now when you need to draw back up every turn. On the second Reseki coming down, meaning you are just dripping economy for the rest of the game, basically. Getting 2 credits from Resekis, and if you can get those cleared out or crowdfundings back online, then you just get more money from those as well. And Resing a tech startup, which searches for an asset and installs it. So we might be seeing another Keeling.
Could be a healing, could be even just another Butterwort to keep the grind going.
Yeah, I think there are many good options here. And Rashida just getting those monies back online and drawing back up, which is a bit scary when you are on the opponent is on 6 points, but you sometimes just have to live with it.
Reaper function.
Oh, maybe setting up for a kill next turn. And now also clearing out these assets is going to be really rough with the hostile infrastructure on the table as well.
I don't think there's any world in which Larea can clear out these assets.
Yeah, I think if we see something like an archives run and then like miracle Miss Bones, we maybe could see something, but
There's 2 shocks in archives,
yeah, it's going
not
to be
counting whatever stays down.
yeah, it's going to be extremely rough clearing archives now.
I think if she runs archives, she probably just dies.
Could be. Like, you probably have to draw up first if you want to check it, but you probably don't have enough time. And icing up R&D as well. So I think both players are a bit sweating right now. It's really tough to contest any of these cards on the table, but Lara just needs to find the 1 point, so
Well, I'd like to see something along the lines of check the new remotes. Well, maybe not server 11 because that's a Reaper function, but like check the remote and then legwork.
yeah, that could be. If you have access to tools like legwork, that could actually be huge here. And account siphon coming down, just getting those credits.
I mean, this makes it possible to check R&D.
But
Probably.
it also makes Bladderwort online, but now Kelly doesn't have enough money to res the Reaper function on the table, so. And probably doesn't have enough money to res R&D eyes as well. Oh, but reses beforehand. Yeah, that
Right, you
makes sense.
res before.
Yeah, makes sense.
But this is still, I think, just to drain off the credits to enable the R&D run.
Yeah, so you could like run R&D and then check or draw R&D, run R&D and draw up, so you are not dead next turn. Oh, you have to draw up twice because there's 2 bioethics
There's
on the
2
table.
bioethics, 1 Butterwort and 1 Reaper.
Yeah, just 5 damage on the table.
And
Why is
Maria has a hand
size?
size of 4. Wait,
Why is there a hand size of 4 only?
maybe a killing bug? There's no core damage.
I'm not
I'm
saying.
not
I'm not seeing it.
seeing.
Oh, there's current.
Okay. There's
Enforced current curfew. So just
yes.
-1. Yeah. I forgot that those even exist. That's harsh. Yeah, just missing out the enforced curfew, meaning that you just cannot really clear out the table anyway.
Yes.
So you basically have to hope it's on top of R&D. And Kelly got all of those threats out really early. Got archives poisoned with 2 shocks on like turn 1, which means that you're just not going to you're not able to keep checking it constantly. And just gets ground out.
And despite how good Runner Econ can be in Eternal, paying 4 more to trash an asset is a lot of money.
You have to spend more time on getting the money and clearing it than the corporation can just throw them out. And I think the other side should be Haley versus Sports Metal.
Yes.
And do you have any idea what Sports Metal could be doing in Eternal? I haven't seen any example decks with Sports Metal.
I would presume it's doing sports things, just with better cards.
Yeah, just scoring agendas and winning the game.
I'm still expecting a lot of 3-1s and 3-2s. I'm expecting stuff being slammed down on the table, and then hopefully taxing the clicks that the runners have to go find everything.
And I think Haley could probably do something like just basic like control shaper gameplay with
And
getting all of
speaking
those. And
of
Estelle
better
Moons.
cards that might help out Sports Metal, we have Estelle Moon.
Yeah, just absolutely wild card. That is basically pure gas if you get any cards on it. Or any tokens on it. Just drawing 1 and getting 2 credits for each install that you do is going to be huge here. And Tech Trader coming down.
Can just install another
Tempo All-Nighter, which is interesting. Oh, you can take credit back from it, but still seems interesting.
Spin Doctor. Lots of gas for Larea here.
And scores
yep,
out to 1 point. So 6
Elevagar.
points left.
Where's the Spin Doctor again?
Oh, yeah, and gets
more
even
cards,
more draw. So Kelly has installed a spy camera which is limit 6 per deck, and look at top 6 X cards of your stack, which is amount of spy cameras installed. And look at top of card of R&D. So installing a Bazaar, which so you get to install more of this. If you install something and you have a copy in hand, then you install another one as well. Oh, yeah, and getting Haley trigger, so installing so much stuff on the table.
There is so much installed here, but I'm not. I feel like we need to see a lot of draw here.
Then
to actually support all of this installing.
Yeah, I think Geist had some like similar ideas, but Geist drew you cards when you used all of the trash can abilities, so you could inherit drawing that deck.
Mhm.
On team sponsorship and another Elvegar going down, which means Estelle Moon is already on five tokens.
And another install coming out of archives here.
And also getting the Spin Doctor unrest again.
This spin doctor has to be getting dizzy. He's been doing so much spinning.
The biggest value Spin Doctor I have ever seen. And just Diesel and drawing up and probably finding those tools that you get to install on the table.
Alright, Haley playing an all-nighter here.
Oh, and Pantograph is going to be amazing against this deck because I think Haley doubles up on Pantograph triggers, right?
Yes, Haley should double up on pantograph triggers.
Yeah, that's going to be wild. You just need to keep up the economy that you can draw up every turn.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you just need sports to score agendas, and how likely is that?
I'm not seeing it. Not happening during the game. And I'm wondering what these pie cameras are actually going to do. Are they just going to generate you econ, or are you actually going to use them to look at... are you going to use them to reassemble your stack, or what's the end goal of having those on the table? And
Biotic and Vitruvius? Transluminal.
No, into the cheating agenda. So you get you get 2 credits, 2 installs from team sponsorship. And install.
But now we see the pantograph going off for value here. One install, and then Haley will...
Team sponsorship actually installing from archives also.
Yes.
Oh, that's wild. Oh, we probably... Anarch Mushroom said that we will never get to see the click ability and spy camera actually getting used. So it's just 6 cards, and looks like you can do something nasty with Bazaar if you can get multiple of those in hand. And also getting clone chip, which means that you can get those programs back on the deck.
I think spy camera, like, it's just obviously it's 0 credits, which means that it's really easy to throw in with the Haley install. It's not taxing your money.
Oh, and after you get more tech traders online, you will use them to get 3 credits and then info on top of R&D.
Yeah. Lock R&D. Like,
yeah,
you get an R&D lock without having to actually spend money or clicks running R&D.
Yeah, and you get those installed so cheaply with Haley, just as a bonus, basically. But Lara just installing everything on table, so server 9 is Estelle Moon, and just installing more cards.
Very fast. Another Estelle Moon, this one from
I think that's from hand. Red level clearness, getting clicks, cards and a click. And I need to zoom out again. So, what could be on the table with server 10, 11, and 12? I'm not certain.
I'm really not sure.
Yeah, it's like it. Agendas feel a bit weird being on the table, but. And
having agendas on the table and not having scored them seems a little bit odd to me.
Oh, and there's Jeeves, which makes sense. You don't want to trust Jeeves, costs way too much. So Jeeves is basically like the boomer version of wage workers, right? That has a couple of different interactions. You can use Jeeves to purge virus counters, and then you get a click back.
Yes, it definitely works with triples, but does not work with having, say, 6 clicks.
Yeah, and also I don't think Jeeves works after you install it and res it like wage workers.
Correct, Jeeves can never see itself.
So I could actually assume that there's going to be both of these. Like Jeeves and wage workers somewhere on the deck. And advancing. 3 advancements and on another team sponsorship.
Okay, this is the score.
Installing a research grant, which means you can score out another one of the table if there is one, but doesn't look like there's one.
So Research Grant is a card I have never in my life seen before, and I've spent time just reading through NRDB, so it's really fascinating.
I would assume you get some dumb combo with this, but we will see. And Kelly finally getting the clot down with Hyperdriver, which gives 3 extra clicks, so a 7-click turn here. Checking server 18, which is going to be Jackson Howard, that just shuffles back in, basically being a spin doctor that doesn't draw during the race, but has a click ability.
And while it might look like Larea is short on credits, she does have an SL Moon with 5 power counters, so at any point she can decide to draw 5 and gain 10.
Yeah, so
And
you're
that's
basically
probably enough to not be short on credits anymore.
And Wage Workers on server 17 with another Estel Moon. So there's 3 Estel Moons on the table, but luckily it's an unique card, so cannot get multiple of those ticking on the same time. And getting another all-nighter. This looks like some kind of combo deck that tries to do some combo on one turn with getting all of these cards that give extra clicks.
So I've seen a lot of extra click bonuses. There is also now this clock down, which could be a little bit awkward for...
Yeah, Clot's going to be tough to deal, like score out behind, but I would think there is like a Mavirus or a Cyberdex virus suit. Is there like old Mavirus, right?
I'm trying to like come up with lines with, like I think you could like, for instance, purge, get the click from Jeeves, biotic operation, which gets
Just
you
eternal stuff.
so you a wage workers click. Like there's maybe some crazy line here, especially if something like game changer or fast break gets involved. That can probably actually purge and then square out on the remaining click from Jeeves.
Oh, and Kelly getting a hyperdrive with a clone chip. With clone chip not having to trash any cards to install it, means that Kelly is going to start out with a 7-click turn again. And just drawing up here, finding a DJ Fenris, going into...
Are we becoming?
Oh yes, yeah.
Yes.
So, Geist coming down, which means that all of these cards are going to give you extra draw as well. Yes, Kelly's chess in the chat. It's going to be rough here with trying to find like all of the combo pieces before Larea can just score out.
Yes. Although the slot did survive on the table, so Larea's not imminently threatening.
On agenda, you get the Pantograph trigger here, but you already used the Haley trigger, so it's not what you optimally want, but it's still...
I mean, it's still a free install.
Yeah, it's still really nice here. And using the stone chips just to draw, already having just 11 cards left in the deck.
I mean, I think Kelly can possibly get through their deck this turn.
Oh, and the Mechabricks Qualifier, which also gets you extra draw. Or extra install, I mean.
Extra install of Pantograph. And next credit, Street Peddler coming down.
Peddler, which can trash itself and install one of the cards. So we could see something wonky with having clone chip behind the Street Peddler, that you cannot actually clear out the clot yet. And
Sort of the other thing I was keeping an eye on is sports is running 20 agenda points.
Mm. And Lara just being forced to install all of the like agendas on just on the table, but still probably has some ways to score out here. There are tools like Game Changer or Arella or anything like that that could help here. But
we're
yeah, go ahead.
Roughly 2/3 of the way through the sports deck, and we have not seen 2/3 of the agenda points yet.
There could be like a Megabricks here on the table, just for Lara to wait out. And installs a replicator, which when you install a piece of hardware, search your stock for another copy. Also, replicator
It does find at least.
and
it does find all 3 Megaprees.
Yeah, on the same turn, just believing that they're on the table. So Lara was probably baiting out, so Kelly would check one of those or 2 of those, but not all of 3. Which gives Lara ways to score out already.
Exactly, clock does not stop agendas that have already been on the table.
Kelly just going to check for those, playing it safe. And Stone Chip draw. So Stone Chip turns into draw 3 and get 3 credits when you have all of the tech traders up. So that's wild. And Estelle Moon getting you 5 draws and 10 credits.
I don't think that the sports deck has many problems scoring, but there is still this Claude active. Okay, there's the...
Going to 5 advancements? Oh, and Cyberdex. Scoring a Vacheron off the table.
Well, with Jeeves and a Wage Worker, you can just advance things 5 times.
Apparently, yeah. Advance 5 times and then it just used Cyberdeck Sandbox off the table, which doesn't actually allow Kelly to get a trigger of street special just to try to find a clone chip or anything. Oh, 3 Cashews on the deck, meaning could have checked R&D, and R&D just having 7 cards left.
Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely wild here. Do we want to jump into another game, or?
Yeah, let's see who else is.
There's, I think every other game is still going, or maybe table 4 could be nice. And table 4 actually just ended.
Table 4 just ended? Alright, 1 sec.
Alright, that was also game 2 already. Which means, is there actually any other games going on anymore? I think table 2 might have just started up.
Table 2, okay.
Alright, so Wizard with Clan Vengeance and a Faust. Actually, Clan Vengeance doesn't, I think, combo of Faust, so that engine just triggers off 0, but still means that Clan Vengeance can just get rid of stuff at like payability window. So when you get 6 counters, you just basically clear out corporation's whole hand after the mandatory draw, so it's going to be hard to recover of that.
So I mean, the clan vendor does trigger off the 0, and the 0 is excellent at drawing you cards to fuel Faust with, I think.
Oh yeah, that makes sense. And Wizard against Replicating Perfection, which is basically like front office as an ID. So you have to first run any central server, and then you can start running the assets or like remote servers off the table. Oh, and finds the Fuji off top of R&D, going up to 3 points, but I am not certain what cards could be on the table. I think there have been there for quite a while, on like server 2 and server 3, so...
This is a Rashida. Flying the Rashida here is huge.
Yeah, corporation is also like 0 credit, so...
Although I suppose there's a chance that even with the Rashida pop, the clan vendor just gets popped, and certainly 3 credits is better than 0, but...
Yeah, but not having any tools to actually play the cards is still going to be hard, or get any use of the credits. And Wizard just getting 2 credits of crowdfundings every turn. And also getting 3 credits of itself just to trash cards. Basically, getting 3 Wizard extra credits every turn. It's going to be wild. Going to check archives, and we see 2 oboes. Is that enough? Not enough to win the game yet?
Well, it's enough points to win the game, but not enough cards to steal them.
Yeah, that's true. So, do you steal here? I would think so. Decides not to pay. Probably thinking that they're in a controlling lead, and just making sure that you cannot die to anything here.
So next turn, the crowdfundings are synced. Both of them pop. You draw once, and then Cobra can run back archives with 8 cards on hand.
And get them everything out of the table at the same time. That sounds really smart. On the daily business show off the table. Just clearing it out for 1 credit.
Trying to find potentially any Spin Doctor or Jackson Howard that could rescue
any protection for archives. And Mildesorte just drawing back up. He's probably trying to find anything that protects archives here. Not finding anything. So this looks like it's going to be...
2 crowdfunding empty. Draw a card. And go steal some oboes.
Yeah, that looks like a reasonable thing here. Going for it. But cannot actually steal both of the oboes yet, I don't believe. If there's no steel skins or...
What was the... Didn't draw first. Okay.
No, but just draws back up and goes back in. Doesn't really matter at the end of the day. Looks like Miller sort of just didn't get the deck rolling yet. And there probably was some Parasite already doing some nasty stuff. Just getting rid of all of the eyes on central servers. And 2 employee strikes getting used already with 3 crowdfundings. And the APAC on heap already. So that could be like devastating if it lands at some point. But
and I believe that was one of the discards for Obo.
Yeah, I think so. So it's I feel like hitting Apocalypse could be hard here with getting like these zero triggers for the clan vengeance all the time, but it probably is good enough against like these asset heavy decks that you want it and you are just not clicking zero at that point.
So I'm just thinking in Eternal with both I've Had Worse and with Steelskin. There's just a much higher density of support cards for this like self net damage strategy.
Yeah, and I think Steelskin Scarring combos with Faust really nicely, right? It works a bit
and
like Audrey works right now.
Right, and that's also had Strike Fund, obviously, to add to that package.
Oh yeah, just getting value of using Faust every time.
Yeah, just discard Strike Fund to Faust. That seems like something I'm on board for. Actually, I've sort of been tinkering in Standard, building this deck with, Audrey and Strike Fund and Steelskin. But the key is, what was it? With Buffer Drive, where you just use the fact that boosting breakers is always a change in game state.
Also, you can just boost it and
so you can
get
just
value.
Buffer Drive on the opponent's turn. with your Strike Funds and Steelskin.
Clickless credits and everything clickless, and just putting those back in the deck all the time.
Because if you only have one card trash each turn, Buffer Drive keeps you perfectly fine. I haven't quite gotten it working yet, but
yeah, sounds like it could miss like one or two pieces to be actually really good. So maybe the next set there could be something. I think we have seen a couple of these cards that works off self-trash and we also might see some like tag me decks in the new set. That could also be.
Yeah. It looks like we're still just waiting on the results of Table 1. How are results coming here?
Yeah, so...
No, all tables have reported. We should be pairing for round 2.
So 2 slips on both sides, and then Co-Probable sweeping the game and Augustus Caesar sweeping the game.
And this is looking like pretty balanced so far. We've got a Corpse Split and a Rudder Split, and 2 sweeps.
Yeah, it's...
Which will always contain, of course, 1 Corp win and 1 Rudder win.
And do you have any idea what IDs PSK is actually playing?
1 second. No.
I think Rotage is joining us on the commentary here.
Excellent.
1 second, I'll just try to add him for them. Him. Sorry. Oh, PSK is apparently on Haley and IG.
Hello, everyone.
Hello. Do you want to introduce yourself for the stream?
Hi, my name is Rotich. I've been playing Netrunner for an incredibly long time now, probably 10 years actually now. So, and just looking forward to seeing what Eternal decks people have brewed.
So you actually have some idea of these old cards, not like us Zoomers who just know of the new versions. Like, oh, this is older version 2, but an old version. And
One.
Yeah, I'm definitely familiar. I mean, I refer to the new cards with the old card names. So I would have played with some of these. I've also looked at the deck lists that Aniko Mushroom kindly posted, which I'd be interested to see how many people have sort of taken those decks or at least used the ideas from those decks today.
And I think we saw a really different Haley list and a really different Sports Metal list already, but like the
good.
IG was similar and Andromeda was a bit similar, I believe.
What was the Haley doing?
Like spy camera
spy cam?
Yeah, spy camera Haley.
Oh, yeah, I remember spy camera Haley. Vaguely anyway.
Alright, I think the tables were paired already, and we haven't seen. I think we saw a bit of everybody's game, but we could probably jump into table 1 if that's okay.
Okay. Yeah, absolutely.
Sounds good.
So we just saw Co-Probable's Wizard on last round for a couple of minutes.
Yes.
So it's going to be Ob versus Wizard at the start, and then I'm not sure how to pronounce it, but Matti Mavkendu versus Wizard.
Yeah,
MT.
I'm not. I've been told how to pronounce it many times.
Yeah, it's hard as a person who doesn't speak English to pronounce or something.
I mean, exactly. Yeah, if I struggle, it must be even more difficult. If you can see what the obviously there's the ob combo list, which I've sort of seen. Also, the other corp, I don't know what that
ob kill lists.
Yeah, I think. I mean, I'd assume if I see ob, I would assume a kill list until proven otherwise.
Yeah, some combo with probably Michelin destruction with Chiefs or something. I could see that happening.
Same here. Wizard is interesting because a lot of these decks, and Wizard to me makes a lot of sense because a lot of these decks are installing things you want to trash. So having those free credits every turn could be quite valuable. And there's additional tech cards you can put in, Sailor Slums, Archives Interface, to then remove those cards from the game altogether. Although I don't believe you can use the Wizard credits to use some of those cards. But that rule has changed so many times.
Oh yeah, Solid Slums is to pay the trash cost and remove it from the game, right?
Correct, yes.
Yeah, and I would assume Wizard doesn't allow it because it actually gives the credits just to pay the trash costs.
Exactly.
Yeah. That's correct, yeah. I mean, I've certainly played an era where you could do it, and then they changed the rule. That rule has changed maybe more than once. But yeah, I would assume, like you said, you can't use it now.
Yeah, just this old cards having a bit of wonky wording sometimes, meaning that the cards on the text on the card is not exactly the same always. Stuff like Amakua is actually quite in the same boat, that it switched around and is actually really tough to understand at some points.
Yep. So both players kept their hand, which I find interesting in this kind of format because obviously the corps are super fast. So
and just Commercial Bankers Group getting out. No, doesn't trash it. yet.
No, I think they were assuming probably like maybe a border control or tour guide. So we're getting the forest token means they can deal with it. But
you could like not trash that and deal with server 1, but
exactly
doesn't get to do it. So Cobra Bubble's just plotting all of the credits and getting the Rashida trigger as well.
Yeah, exactly. So you've got to be slightly careful against Wizard, because back in the day we would see account and siphon Wizard lists would appear. So we always got to be slightly wary of that until you start seeing the influence, obviously the cost of cards within this format, which I'm not fully up to speed with. Math time already. Oh my goodness.
Will we see the combo on turn 2?
I mean, the runner's only got 3 cards, so that's you trash 2 cards. I don't know how they get the click from. That's something I don't know how they get the click for this.
Yeah, seems.
So Wage Workers is 2.
Yeah,
Wage Workers.
So
I'm sure how you get to Wage Worker on table and to then get extra clicks to get mad and everything off.
Extract the Enigma.
Yes.
That fetches the Wage Workers.
Yeah, not saying the combo yet, just installing all of the assets on the table.
Yeah. The runner's just,
Augustus rolling a die, deciding what server.
And Advanced Assembly Lines?
It is server 4 at Advanced Assembly Lines.
It gets rest before the access, which...
I think they have to trash it.
Like when you res it, you gain 3.
Oh, it's when you res it. Oh,
you res it, you gain. Yeah, you gain 2 credits. But then you can't. Sorry.
You cannot
then you can't use
ability.
it.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. So that's when you install it. You're going to gain 2 credits regardless, and they don't run it. You get a free install. But they didn't. Oh no, because they couldn't use. So what's this in the remote? Jeeves, which now they can use those wizard credits.
Yeah, getting Jeeves out and
here's a crowd coming down. Help rebuild.
Okay, so seeing that card, and they're not going to siphon you now, fairly surely, because obviously they're probably playing 3 copies of crowdfund. That's 9 influenced, another 1 for Amiku. That's 10 already gone.
And there might be a second Amiku.
I would assume so. Yeah, we don't like to play 1.
Yeah, especially if you're paying all of the eternal points for it, you probably want to play more than 1.
Exactly.
So, yeah, the runner's very poor now.
Still very poor.
And that bankers group is doing a lot of work. It's a really dangerous card that you generally need to get rid of if you can.
Yeah, getting 3 credits per turn is just wild here.
Exactly. And
then Cobra Bubble's whole economy here.
And yes, I think now they're gonna. I mean, they got the recurring credits. You have to get rid of it now.
Yeah, we're going down to Wizard.
Basically, trashing it for free.
Demonstrating his mastery of gaming by trashing these assets.
Oh, that's not good. So Estelle Moon is a super powerful card.
Yes, we saw it out of sports earlier here.
Yeah.
And I would assume it's even more powerful out of Ob, where you actually get the Ob trigger as well from it.
Exactly, and obviously being that's a trash ability, you can use it on the runner or the corp turn, depending where's more appropriate. Soon if the runner runs it, you can still pop it, and then still get value from it. So it's a super strong card.
We do see sort of a conventional bin breaker breaking suite out of Augustus Caesar.
Ooh, Rumour Mill. So that has shut down the Estelle Moon. Because Rumour Mill has blanked it. That's really powerful. But
there's a border control.
So if they've got a current in hand, maybe they play the current next turn, or do they? You can see what Cobra Bubbles does here. Yeah.
Pops the border control.
So I wonder if they have a current. Do you have to wonder if they've got a current in hand?
To save the Estelle Moon?
Yeah.
No. Can't.
Well, they still need to play a current or score an agenda to at least get the Estelle Moon back online.
Yeah, there's still the rumor mill though, so this virus suite doesn't do anything.
No, Cyberdex is not unique. If I actually...
Oh yeah, it's just uniques.
Oh, it's unique. Yeah, it's just uniques. Yes.
Yeah. And they've got a current. I think most corps and runners play currents. That's to deal with if nothing else to do with counter currents.
Yeah, just deal with the currents that the opponent
Which is sort of
doing stuff with.
The reason cited for them all being banned in the update that did that is look, the best answer to a current is a current. So if your opponent's running currents, you're also going to run currents. This is just not a great look.
Yeah.
And paywall implementation just gaining money, but probably playing it as a cheap counter current, just basically.
Exactly, entirely right. And also, I mean, it can get you some value because I think it's an every time.
Mm-hmm.
So if they start making lots of runs and check-in, it's making you money.
That's sort of a reverse Desperado. And especially with this crowdfunding about to pop, Augustus is slightly incentivized to make a bunch of runs here. Although for just one crowdfunding, I'm not sure how vital that is.
I mean, they like to make runs anyway.
Exactly.
So I think it's always, again, nice synergy there. But ideally, you want more than one. Ideally, you want to get all three installed if you can. But Blue Moose.
Oh, Blue Moose, yeah.
Funding up Blue Moose for yet more money in the future.
Yep.
Yeah, just absolutely wild card, giving you basically 2 credits every turn for low cost of play. Removing cards from the game that you are not going to play anyways.
Yeah,
the low cost of having played cards previously.
Yeah, I think that card was in every deck when it was legal and standard. I don't know how long it lasted. I don't think how long it lasted legal. Not massively length of time, I don't think. And it's just on the ban list, and I don't see it ever coming off. Because, as you said, it's just making you money for the penalty of it is not really a penalty. So an executive boot camp, so they can now either res a piece of ice with a credit discount if they want, or use it to go fetch something.
I would assume the fetching is the actual reason why you're playing that card.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
The res thing is, unless you're playing against a blackmail list, which
that
exists.
Yeah. Blackmail being the card that you do a run and the opponent cannot raise any eyes. If you have a bad pub. Yeah.
Yeah. They're asking, so I think, maybe they did want to raise some ice by the looks of it. I think they're saying it doesn't prompt. So
I think it's still a 1 credit discount, and I think this border control was not doing tremendously much as hidden information.
Yeah, I would assume the other ice is tour guide, so all your ice is basically there's no scary face checks. You'd rather get the money discount at this point because they've got money, but they want more money to get a combo, I think.
And also, mutual asset destruction is just phased up cards, right?
I think it's res cards, I believe.
Yeah,
yes,
so you need to get ice rest to use it as the mad fodder.
Exactly.
That's
a really good shout.
With executive bootcamp.
So you see new tech from the Automata initiative coming in here with Hannah Wheels Plintra.
Yeah, so it seems a good include. I mean, you get a clickback for checking emotes, which against a lot of these decks you will be doing, and then if you need an extra click at some point, it's there. So yeah, it seems a good include.
So one thing I've definitely been noticing about Eternal is all of the corps that I've seen have been so much wider.
Oh, definitely. Because I think the CI list does it, the Obelisk does it, IG does it. I'm not aware of many that don't. So
we saw Replicating Perfection do it a little bit.
Yeah, I don't think there is any tall corp in tournament, and I'm not even sure if those exist. Basically,
I think MTI at least wants to play some big real ice.
Yeah, but I think those are all also going on like remotes as basically face checks.
So they've trashed the moon, they've trashed Rashida. Had used some real money, but yeah. So we now see the judge work, which is going to tidy up HQ and make some money at the same time.
I'd expect, and now this is enough res stuff that Cobra can very easily be looking at Biotic Mad Boom next turn, or whatever the line is.
Yeah, just need to find the tools anymore.
Yeah, I think is what's been said already. Is you can obviously pop the cyber decks to go fetch to Jeeves.
Oh, and, and still having influence left for Desperado as well.
So yeah, so maybe a copy of Desperado, the free crowdfunding, and some copies of Amakur.
Yeah, that would
some
make
combination
sense.
of. Yeah.
Just run everything, check everything, trash it all with Wizard.
Yeah, and still get huge amounts of money and everything.
Yeah. So now they're just drawing up, so probably just trying to get the missing pieces.
And there still is like spin doctors on the table with being able to just shuffle back in stuff.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I guess also rumor mill is a problem because obviously they can't use Jeeves or wage workers, and unless they have another way of getting the extra click, then they need to clear that as well.
Oh yeah, that's true. Also, Bass is unique, right?
I don't know. I'll look it up.
Pretty sure he is.
Yeah.
I would have thought so, but you just never know.
Yeah, it's one of these things that you don't really ever need to think about in like current standard.
Yeah, it is unique. Yeah.
So that's also blanked. And current's only cleared up after the opposing side actually scored, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
Yes. So Cobra Bubbles either need to play a current or score an agenda.
Which means that we might need to wait for quite some while until the rumor mill actually clears out.
Yeah. I'm surprised why they didn't use the spin doctor, maybe just to shuffle back in.
I think it's also a unique.
Oh, it is. Of course, apologies. God,
the doctor is unique.
I've forgotten about it. Apologies. Yeah, it's just so many unique cards.
A couple misprints that were missing the unique diamond, but it is officially unique.
So how many credits do they need for the combo? They need mutually assured destruction. Is that 3 or 4 credits?
I think it's around 10 with like Bass, mutual assured destruction, and then there's some sort of kill. So it's like around 10, I believe.
High profile target would make the most sense, I would have thought.
Yeah, high profile target probably. So that would be 9, I believe.
Yeah.
And
so
Steam
Hag. Wow, an all-time favorite. So the reason there's this decision point is they can also pop the border control, but obviously they could also install the paperclip immediately. So Cobra obviously decide they want to pop the border control now, and deny them that opportunity, or at least drag them through the moat a little bit. But
there is like paper clips in the bin. So
yeah, I think popping immediately makes the most sense because they can install paperclip for 4, break for 2, break the Enigma for 2, and use all the Stimag money. So you might as well pop it and just deny them getting a free paperclip.
Yeah, there's also another time out there, which doesn't really matter in this matchup, I think. It might have mattered. But obviously, if the runner fully breaks the border control, they have the chance to pop the hippo and RFG it.
Exactly. That's a good point. I'd missed the hippo on the board. Yeah, that's a really good shout. Yeah, that's exactly what would have happened probably.
And installing the Enigma as well. Oh yeah, just because the
There's
CyberX can
CyberX,
clear out the
exactly,
virus
yeah.
tokens.
But no, because it's not unique. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, so
Yeah.
they have to get the Black Orchestra down.
But I believe Augustus doesn't have enough credits to actually get into server 1 with
It's just the Black Orchestra.
Black Orchestra paying 3.
No, but at least, yeah. But they can at least hippo away the Enigma.
And forcing the co-probables just to use the CyberX away.
Yeah, exactly. Make them play the actual money.
And on this turn, the co-probables actually has used the border control already. So virus tech's not actually getting any extra.
So the other one, yeah. Augustus has gone very poor now. And they want to see if they can change that discard.
Yeah, they had a discard to hand size.
Yeah, because of the stim hack. So yeah.
Oh yeah.
Give me the blue moose.
Yeah, just
Second
never needing another one. So
it's interesting. Yeah, if they take another stim hack, then it does help a little bit because then it's one less card you need to trash. Because obviously they are getting a bit low on res cards now.
Yes, that's the other thing I was noting is Ob still has enough. Cobra has enough, but if more disappear, it could start getting awkward for him.
It definitely. Yeah, we've got some issue at the moment in the game with triggers needing to be resolved. And Tan UK has pointed out, which I think I missed, was that medium's obviously on the board as well now. So they are at least setting up for sort of because the agendas are somewhere now. So the potential might actually obviously stopping Ob's good, but obviously it's nice to actually win the game as well.
So we are seeing Cobra Bubbles has 7 face down cards in archives now. Is like how much does Ob run in the way of archives poison? Is this safe to poke? Is this dangerous to poke?
I would say fairly safe to poke. I don't know what they could run. Obviously, the only poison cards really are sort of out of action. I don't think they got the influence to spend on those sort of things.
Yeah, I think Bridge, Dome, and Shock are both like eternal points influence as well.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so I think you
would be kind of wild, and then you have Nightmare Archives, but you're not planning to score out anyway, so.
Nightmare Archives is also 3.
Yeah, it's loads of influence.
Yeah,
3 influence.
So what? 3 Estelle Moon is 6. 3 Assembly Lines, another 6. Yeah, that's I would assume their influence is 3 Estelle, 3 Assembly Line, 3 Spin Doctor, and obviously Jeeves comes in as Alliance as influence 3. So yeah. The only Wayland poison is Space Camp, which isn't scary in any way, so that wouldn't be included. If there's any downside of an archives, is the CVS would purge your Amacur. It's any downside, but you could still run it. Click 1, purge, get your token anyway, and then
go to HQ,
and then your 2, which is all you need.
Then there's also the thing that is there anything worthwhile in archives, or do you want to spend the click otherwise?
So the thing is, there's still a crowdfunding in the heap, correct?
Yeah, that's one.
Yes. So if Augustus is looking to get 3 runs for crowdfunding anyways, like Archives, HQ, R&D.
Alright, there goes one drone deployment from Archives and the second one. Yeah, never mind me.
So yeah, that solves one problem and obviously get some money.
But no, Archive R&D is loaded with agendas now, I would assume.
Yes.
There's Mad.
Where's Mad? Mad, I tell you.
So they got rid of Jeeves. This is a problem now because they've got 3 Spin Doctors in the bin, so I would assume there's no real recursion left.
I mean, they have points to run Jackson.
They haven't got the influence for Jackson though.
Yeah, influence comes.
Assuming they are playing, they've got to play at least 6 HP cards. So I assume it'd be the 3 Moon, 3 Assembly Line.
And finally, 2 parts of the combo already. But Rumor Mill is still blocking out everything.
It's lots of very tight to fit in stuff.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I mean, this looks really, really rough for Cobra Bubbles now. I don't really see a way out now.
You basically need to find the counter current and basically hope to hit the combo before Augustus gets enough money to clear out R&D.
Yeah, the danger is there's a reasonable chance Augustus might have drawn their third rumor mill, assuming they're playing free at this point.
Yeah, that would be kind of back-breaking here, I would assume.
Going off to the drudge work, which I quite like because that's still one. Obviously, you can never get the agendas back, but eventually get to a point where the agendas are just going to start piling up in HQ.
I also like this for just keeping down the number of res assets.
It's a good shout as well. Yeah, that's a really good shout as well. There's only 2 res dice, so
2 tags, high-profile targets. 4 damage at that point?
Yeah.
That's not a kill.
Yeah, but now they're making a run on R&D. Sco Bubbles doesn't res the ice. That's interesting. Like even
maybe
as a tour guide, no
hippo or something.
Maybe.
And I don't think tour guide would actually do anything there.
It wouldn't, but it's a res card at least.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, it turned on the.
It's a tour guide, yeah.
There we go. Did they? No, they didn't make. What happened there? Yeah, they're trying to work out what happened there.
Yeah.
Yeah, just undo click and stuff.
Yeah, just undo click.
Yeah, that's probably easiest.
So we know they've got pieces. It's just the current is the problem. All gaining. There's no other way they can get another click that I can think of.
Yeah, if you're not playing something like Biotic Labor, that is so much more influence. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, and SDS.
Yeah. With the obviously with the
trashing, of course, the Black Orchestra, which might come back in the future if needed.
Yep.
Tour guide offering a tour of all of the assets, all 0 of them.
The Purge here just trying to halt Augustus advancing on R&D.
Yeah, I mean, it was definitely slow them down a bit. Either they get the Black Orchestra or they've got to run archives once, then run HQ and hope there's not a res.
There is the full Bidmaker suite in the bin.
Oh, Chisel coming down, just annihilating the tour guide. And another quite boosted agenda. Just I don't think Copper Bubbles is in any economic trouble here, but getting 3 money every turn is going to be
Copper
wild.
Bubbles is in a lot of points trouble, as well as board state trouble, even if the money is looking quite good for him.
Yeah, this is not good. Joros, Scopic, apologies if I got your name wrong. Preemptive does not have points in Eternal, and yes, Desperado is very broken. Is Parasite pointed? I will find out.
I don't actually think so.
Yeah, I wouldn't have thought so.
So it's interesting to see Augustus on Chisel instead of Parasite here.
Yeah, Parasite is not got any Eternal points, so.
I wonder
Would
what's
you see
the
the
reasoning there.
implementation coming down?
Yeah, so I suppose the point you playing power chisel over power site is interesting. And Jeeves, is this the last? That is the last Jeeves. So
Last Jeeves
I think that's
is looking really, really rough.
yeah. COVID bubbles might actually have to try and score out, which would be nigh on impossible. I think.
Yeah, with 7 points in R&D, it's going to be
I
quite a
think
challenge.
it's also not impossible just looking at the time. Like they have 7 cards left, and he has 7 cards left in R&D.
Yeah. So I think
There's
there
not
would
enough time to score.
exactly, and also you're signaling the scores immediately. Anything advances the agenda, so that Augustus can just sit back and wait.
Yeah, there's basically nothing you can do at this point.
And yeah, so I think no Jeeves, no spins left.
Yeah, Rumor will actually like decimating the whole game here.
Yeah.
I guess pointing out that with only 7 cards in the stack, you can't just even go for the like value mad for 6 things. Hope Augustus can't clear, all of the tags, and high profile target off the remaining ones.
Yeah, that was a tough spot. And they never had a big enough board to even just play the mutual destruction and then just wait a turn. They never had a big enough board.
Exactly.
So yeah.
Yeah, Wizard just taking everything down constantly.
Yeah.
With all of the ice destruction combined with all of the asset hate.
Yeah.
And the Wizard credits did a lot of work.
Yeah, I was about to try, but I want to see how much money Wizard earned from being Wizard. How many of the credits got spent?
Yeah, I would have thought maybe, and I'm guessing maybe at least 10 credits. I would have thought there's quite a few turns they used all the credits up. Another turns used a little bit. Someone saying in the chat about the boom in the Wizard have been quite true poetry, and yeah, I think so with the
Game
very
over.
very poetic.
And also seeing another Wizard on the table with Mati, which probably goes wide as well. But I think Mati is actually one of the decks that can actually do some like score behind ice type of gameplay. But
oh, definitely, because you've got the combination with Caprice Nisei, which alone is a super strong. Where basically they get past. I've got to remember the timing on this. You come up to the last piece of ice. I come up to that point, or just after that, you do the side game, and then if they win side game, if they run a win side game, you get another piece of ice, and they got to do it again.
Oh, it does it again.
I believe so, and please correct me in the chat if I'm wrong on this. I believe is how it works.
That sounds extremely wild. Oh, but rumor mill coming, employee strike coming down, which means that Mati is actually not doing anything.
Yep. So again, that's quite amusing that they've got the right current, because rumor will be impactful, but not as impactful. And they've got the 0 down straight away. So daily business show does imply going wide to some extent, as you've said already.
Yeah, I would assume so.
Yeah.
And I think Copper Balls was on like Clan Vengeance 0 Wizard, which would mean that anything like that tries to combo at some point is going to have a rough time. But
so the other thing that Clan Vengeance 0 can do here is against MTI. If you're worried about the MTI installing some random big piece of ice, you can just Clan Vengeance their hand, and then they can't.
Yeah, on the same turn. That sounds
excellent.
correct.
Excellent point. Yeah. So we see a Turtlebacks, which was a staple of the asset decks back in the day. Expensive to trash and just can make you a lot of money. So Wizard have anything? Obviously, they can safely go after things. You probably do want to trash the Turtlebacks.
I think if you're Wizard, trashing the Turtlebacks looks very doable. If you're anyone else, it's not.
Yeah.
And August is actually like being forced to pre-install the ice, so this might be like a scoring attempt here, just to clear out the employee striker.
Yeah, I mean it's also the agenda suite. I have no idea what agenda suite they're playing. It could be absolutely anything.
Yeah, that's true.
Flower sermon.
Well,
Okay,
there's one of the agendas.
Flower sermon.
Yeah, that's an interesting include. I'm trying to see. I guess maybe for the draw ability, because you can obviously draw extra cards, which you kind of want. They've got to be careful of the eyes, because Cortex Lock did see some play in this ID, and it only costs 2 to res, and it would do net damage equal to your 3 MU. So at the moment, it would do 4 net damage for 2 credits. So Kobolds will be very wary that it is not the 8 credits from a Nazi. Got to plan around. There's a lot of nasty ass, and another one. Wow.
Oh, yeah.
So this is some interesting includes.
Well, the best way to win at Netrunner is to hit agendas with all of your accesses.
Wow. So we've been told this is Hold Ailing's material list. I don't know what that list is. So anyone doesn't know in the chat.
Political dealings is... It was some sort of a really weird combo deck. I think I saw something like that, but...
So, okay, they're saying they're making a questionable play now.
And Apocalypse.
Well, Apocalypse is one method of clearing out a remote.
Yeah, and I think with all these asset decks, that's not a bad include.
And if Augustus was trying to clear out the server, it's like... Or clear out the employees track, that plan has gone.
Yep. You see the power of wage workers here coming down as the second install, resting immediately, seeing the third install.
And the Hestel Moon being absolutely wild again.
Yep, and obviously no rumor mill at the moment, so...
The Hestel Moon actually does something now.
Rebel's just going to force the pop here, otherwise Wizard.
Yeah. The problem that Wizards got, even if they're free credit, they got no money. So one charge raid workers in check to get some money.
Yeah, and Cobrables doesn't have like these economy points that or cards that are pointed, so no crowdfunding or blue moose or anything to bounce back and get that sustainability.
Yeah.
The economy plan.
Oh. Kerry was saying if we want to currents win both games, I think that's Justice, yeah. Although Augustus has left the game, I assume technical issues.
I think it's JNet being JNet. JNet's been unhappy for a bit.
Yeah. Yeah, so it's... I mean, 4-0 down is not good, but obviously getting that moon will have helped quite a bit. Get some econ, get some cards. It depends if they play in a counter current. If they were maybe thinking Rumor Mill was the popular current, then actually they were less bothered by it, and maybe not thinking Employee Strike would be a thing. I'm trying to think what currents would make sense. Obviously, I don't know if Scarcity costs points. Scarcity is like the default one. I don't know how many resources runners playing these days. Oh, they've rejoined? Good.
Yeah, Scarcity of Resources 2 points.
Yeah, so you probably don't include that. There's I can't remember what it's called, but there's a current you can blank the runner's ID, and that would be quite amusing.
The Chin Take You one, right?
Didn't check you one, yeah. So they could be how you play that one. I used to like that one because would be quite powerful and super annoying. It does cost 2 credits to play though, which is not ideal. As a counter current, you want it to be cheap.
And also, like the runner's ID ability is often less important to them. It's just like an economic ability often, while corporations' ID abilities are actually like the decks of the resolve around those. So.
I guess basically continuing to build back up on cards.
Oh, wow.
Money. Clones are not people.
Clones are not people.
Basically, corporation mad dash, it looks like.
Yeah, exactly. Obviously, now being played as the counter current rather than its natural use, but yeah. And if they're playing 2 pointers, which it looks like they are, then you get one of those with 1 2-pointer. Makes a lot of sense. And they've lost a strike from that. Ploy Strike.
And a Faust on that price also.
That's interesting to know. Yeah, so maybe it's like a Faust Apocalypse Levy deck, maybe?
Yeah, I think it's Clan Vengeance, Faust, and crowdfunding apparently. So everything that fuels Faust to break stuff, and then Econ to support that.
So political dealings.
So whenever you draw an agenda, you may install and reveal it. And
They're saying they're not sure that is the top card of my deck.
and Mumba Temple just giving free credits to rest stuff.
Credits to red stuff.
Yeah, always
That value
must be nice.
Yeah, so even with the wizard credits, there's a lot of stuff appearing on the board now that's not cheap to trash. So it looks like some more technical issues at the moment.
Wizard can still trash one of these for free each turn, basically.
Yes, the problem is only one per turn.
Temples free. Yes.
Yeah, that's the problem. You do one per turn. Of course, there's potential you could start spamming them a lot of stuff. So I think Josh Scott was asking, wondering what the ice is. Yeah, I'm wondering that too. I would assume Cortex Lock. I've not looked at the ice before, but it's a good include in this ID.
So Cortex Lock was 1 cost and do as many damage as the opponent as MU left, right?
Yes, I think it might be 2 cost, 1 or 2.
Oh, yeah, something like that.
Cheap. It's very
just
cheap.
Being a game-winning card if the opponent installs a console and runs on turn 1.
Yeah, exactly. And so an early game, it's just obviously being the ID faction. If you've got any amount of money, the runner has to respect that can happen. And that's the other factor now. The ID ability is turned on, so they make a run. They got to be very careful now. But there's only 2 cards in HQ, so it's.
So something is happening on JNet here, which.
Yes, we are continuing to experience technical difficulties, I believe is the phrase.
Yeah. So cover bubbles. Join the left game.
I need to rejoin at least for a second.
So which of these 2 positions would you rather be in right now?
Oh, that's a good one.
I think
so
Cobberbles is leading the game with Augustus Caesar actually needing to score points, and there's no like cheap kill option for Augustus here, I don't believe, with this kind of deck. And Wizard actually clearing out the remotes quite easily. But Matti actually works on central server as well, which means that you're a bit afraid to run.
Exactly. And I think Cobobs has already realised about the Cortex Lock, so. And I think being 4-0 up, it's no point risking it at this point. Okay, maybe there's a point risking it. I guess.
Cobberbles does have an MK Ultra in the bin and 5 credits, so.
It's for strength 4 though. So
it's very expensive. Strength 4 as well.
Yeah, if I recall correctly. Excalibur. Oh, okay, it's interesting. That's quite nice. That's nice though, because at least your other assets are going to stay on the board.
Yeah, just ending the run complete right here. But still getting that wizard value.
Yes, value, and I'm not sure how much Cover Bubbles necessarily wanted to make that many more runs this turn.
No, but at least you stop them doing it, and okay, Rashida's huge.
Yeah, saving the Rashida here is like huge.
So Parasite comes down. That will take a few turns.
Yeah, if you don't have anything to accelerate it.
And I think as Augustus, you're fine if that's going to take a few turns.
Yeah, I would assume so, because you don't have any other ways to get rid of it.
Yeah. So another Estelle Moon coming down, which is now rough for Wizard because they have to go after the moon, and then all the other things stay on the table, or they've got some money, so they could probably maybe run one of the other servers if they want to. But there's still a risk factor involved in doing that. It's so we got the Clan Vengeance. At least if they do hit something bad, at least they'll get some value from it.
Yeah, that's true. Just then clearing out HQ and getting rid of all the eyes. And here goes political dealings. Oh, but Matti ability actually triggering it.
Yep. So they really want to protect that one. That's interesting.
Yeah, I think this is some sort of a combo deck, so political dealings probably is key to it, I would assume at least.
Yeah.
If the deck is named after it, so I would assume it is doing something important.
Yep.
So I guess what political dealings does is, if nothing else, it's click compression, and you can sort of do this never advance 3-2 or even 4-2 style with the wage workers, where you just hit an agenda off the top, get the free install.
And there's the political dealings doing work. Also getting team sponsorship.
Oh, good. I forgot about team sponsorship.
And then you just advance. And that is the clones are not people being cleared out also.
So the game actually looks a lot more even now with 3 points to 4 points.
Yes. And Cobra is still struggling somewhat on credits. There is the crowdfunding, which is potentially about to be refreshed. There is the daily cast ticking, and of course, Wizard has great abilities to trash assets by virtue of being Wizard.
Yeah, the problem might be that Augustus doesn't have too much money left for himself either.
I wonder if that daily business. Sorry.
I was just going to shout out there is the Turtlebacks, there is the Muba Temple. Augustus' operating costs are actually pretty low.
Yeah, I was just wondering if they installed daily business on a new remote, because they don't get the Turtlebacks credit because it's installed in an existing remote. It has to be a new remote. And with that Excalibur dying next turn, you just install it in a new remote and just at least gain the credit from it.
Yeah, it would basically be the same effect.
So they trash the Rashida from R&D. Obviously no brainer. And it's free of charge.
Yeah, we started also working for like unrest cards from R&D and HQ that even stuff like Miss Bones doesn't do.
Yeah. So it's interesting they're leaving the servers, they're leaving the remotes now. They seem to be just targeting R&D now and trying to win that way.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have minded potentially checking HQ or archives looking for.
Oh yeah, political dealings to rest. Yeah.
So we see another score. Longevity show. So obviously not going to trash anything from HQ. So you assume there's probably no agendas in HQ.
Yeah, I would assume so.
And then you get some stuff back. So this is now looking, a
bit more rough for co-probables, but they're
definitely,
still just finding. It's about finding those couple of last agendas. So.
So I do think in co-probable shoes, I'd be looking to keep R&D locked here. The threat of an agenda off the top with the pool dealing is so immense.
Yeah. But also with the daily business show, they can obviously draw past that lock potentially. And obviously with the Mumba credit, they can res daily business show on the runner's turn, install the agenda if it's 3-2 using the turtlebacks. So if they get 3-2, they can just win next turn.
Yeah, it's certainly very messy.
But I think Wizard has money and so at least trash the key assets, I think.
Yes.
At least the very least you can buy yourself another turn at least. Trash the daily business show, see what's on top of R&D.
Yeah. And there's a Rashida that goes out. And then taking care of the daily business show.
Yeah, this makes
And
sense.
then this should also reset the crowdfunding, I believe. 3 runs.
Yeah, I believe so. So do you just poke R&D and hope, make sure that it's not an agenda on top?
I would.
I think that's the thing I'm most scared of.
But you might have something in hand that sets you up for the long game, because the game is still going on for a long time after this.
Yep.
And
they're going.
Oh, clearing out the political operative does basically the same thing.
Yeah, they got Black Orchestra. Yeah, they can afford to do this now.
Yeah, that makes complete sense.
Yeah, that will be the best way of shutting down this combo.
Yeah, but still going low on credits, but at least crowdfunding is doing something to alleviate that. And you get the 3 credits per turn to trash stuff, so...
Yeah.
I think there's, like, Wizard has triggered almost every turn during the game, so...
So now they're getting some total back monies. And obviously with the member temple credits, obviously that's credits they can use to res ice, so...
Oh, it's also for ice.
Yep.
Yeah, just res cards, so that's
Press
also,
cards.
like, super wild.
We do see the 0 coming down to actually start getting the econ and the draw, and also the net damage for Clan Vengeance.
Yep. No, so we see a brain trust, so that would have been game the turn before, I think, with the daily business show.
Yeah, I believe so.
So now,
No, brain trust basically just being a blank 2-3, I believe here. Basically like Jaggy Ude.
Yep. So yeah, so 3 brain trust, 3 Project Yagura, 3 flower sermon, and a longevity sermon.
1 click left. What do you track?
Yeah, that's the thing, because obviously, could be a political dealing somewhere. Jeeves.
Oh, Jeeves. You do actually. It's a hard decision here, I believe.
I mean, she'll ask click you might, I think so, because otherwise they can res it for free on the runner's turn. What's server 16 is?
And was that okay, probably not. Agenda snuck through face down on the table.
So now they've got enough money for...
I guess they're on flower sermons. Server 16 could be a flower sermon.
Being with a run on 6 points, that's a really brave move.
Yeah, I'm just thinking about, like, obviously if it's a 3-2, they could have scored it this turn. But if it's a flower sermon...
Yeah.
You're just kind of stuck looking at it, going... So Cobra Bubbles can click 0 here, get the Clan Vengeance up to 3 counters, and clear out HQ. Which... Oh, this is already... They've already zeroed this check. Okay. I thought they had 2 counters on it already.
So now I'm going to check things.
You have the extra 3 credits to check stuff, so you probably want to use it.
Yeah. Oh, okay, what's this going to be? Okay, Excalibur.
Oh, another Excalibur. Yeah, being forced to approach it is kind of rough here, when you could want to run stuff on R&D end.
So, unfortunately, hit the most useless asset. Team's launcher board do absolutely nothing in this game.
Yes, I don't think that needs to be trashed.
No, it serves. I mean, the runner's not playing 1-pointers, so the corp's not playing 1-pointers, so yeah, it serves no benefit. Got the Faust down at least, so now they can break Excalibur if they want to.
Oh yeah, Faust breaking Excalibur is wild.
Yeah. Okay, so...
Oh, and just trying to top deck into the agenda here. But doesn't look like it.
Drawing up some.
Yep. That makes sense. Obviously, you don't get the credit, but you got the Mumba Temple credits. So I think, just keep the runner's not particularly rich, nor that many cards. So if you want to start checking all the remotes, because although Faust is good for breaking, that potentially turns on Mati for installing some nasty ice.
But you still get through here for basically free.
Yeah,
just
that's
pitching
nice.
out everything.
Just
Steel
pitching
skin.
steel skin, so not
Nice.
even free. It's better than free.
Yeah.
You get paid to break ice.
And accesses are... Oh, Mati trigger comes first. But what do you actually have money to raise here?
Well, the Mumba Temples they can res.
Swordsman.
Oh, there. So they can't afford the MK and break it. So I think Faust is gone.
That's... But still it gets through there, so...
They will get through. They take
Yes.
a damage, which obviously... So they will get a Clan Vengeance token, I think, from the net damage.
Yes, they'll get Clan Vengeance from the net damage. Cobra not yet clicked 0 this turn. Also, so HQ is dead whenever Cobra wants to kill it.
Oh, and the Spin Doctor just not actually hitting anything here.
Ooh.
Okay, HQ is not quite dead whenever Cobra wants to kill it.
So Excalibur, political dealings. So I assume political dealings will get trashed.
And
check archives.
yeah,
Haiku.
Clan Vengeance into archives after the Spin Doctor pop, so there might have been 2 agendas drawn in the cards, but Himitsu Bako. Repeating the Mati triggers, maybe, with adding them back to hand.
Yep.
Obviously,
Get the reinstall the crowdfunding. Clear out the political dealings. I'm not sure that this MTLS is running any other fast advance or pseudo fast advance.
Yeah, I mean, I guess the only in-house would be Trickle Light, which makes not a lot of sense, or the shipment from Tenin.
From Tenin, yeah, I don't.
Yeah.
But I'm not sure if that's going to ever trigger here.
No, exactly.
Yeah.
So you're right. It probably isn't any other fast advance options. So they need one agenda to score. It's how they score it.
That's the tricky bit. Yes.
Yeah, scoring out with political dealings is going to be hard here when runner has enough tools to check through everything. But maybe placing it down on server 7 or server 17 is enough. But then
so just install a bunch of stuff. So they have to check server 7, they have to check server 17. Or just do...
Although,
that
I was about to say, could potentially just run R&D. We're 2/3 of the way through the deck, and we've seen roughly half the agendas.
Yeah.
And how many political dealings are left in the deck? There's already 1 in the bin, rest got shuffled back in.
And this also incidentally, of course, locks R&D, so if this isn't...
political operator on table? But not
we know the top 2 cards aren't...
Yeah, but...
Yeah, I would have maybe used a Spin Doctor to at least give yourself a chance of just winning on the spot.
And again, server 7's not an agenda. If it was, it would have been scored, or it's Flower Sermon and is still not scoreable.
Yeah, so it's getting something there.
Well, I guess it could be your Wage Workers in...
Oh, and another Excalibur. Stopping the medium from just doing this huge amount of digs.
They're seeing 3 cards, so it's not... I don't think... so maybe there's a...
No. Oh, and fine.
Yeah. Oh, two.
Times the unit and a flower
Yeah, that's
sermon.
not-
Wonder if they didn't install an agenda on the table, maybe.
Yeah, I was thinking the
Yeah,
other.
server
Oh
20.
yeah. Just
I
trying
was
to
thinking the other
sneak it
potential
out.
is wage workers coming down, which turns on if that was a flower sermon hiding in server 7.
Well, they've said it's a winning gender in server 20, so I assume
Yes.
one of these is wage workers, the other one's. So I believe this was the last game of the round. The other ones have all completed.
Yeah, and I believe one of the players has dropped, so there's just 4 players left in the tournament, so or 6 players.
4?
6 players, yeah.
Oh no, yeah, we had 8. So unless
Yeah.
At 8, so I believe
And
we're
I
down
think-
to 6.
PSK has also dropped.
2 have dropped. Okay.
Yeah, so it's 6 players still, which is still a decent amount.
Yeah.
Is there any players that we haven't seen yet here? We haven't seen Bo Warlock at all yet, so we could watch his game next.
Yeah, definitely. It was
And-
good to see as many people as we can.
I'm hoping for some really nasty CI combo deck.
But that was
I'm
a
not sure
fun
we've
game.
seen.
Yeah, interesting Mati deck. I wouldn't assume that to work see that kind of deck. There were no like surprise announces or stuff like that. But I was expecting more.
No, I was wondering if you play that in RP maybe, because at least then you force the central runs, but then you haven't got the spiky eye. So I don't know. It does make the runner have to think very carefully. Once they know, becomes apparent the ice isn't that much of a problem, apart from an Excalibur appearing from nowhere, then actually it's a bit less
Yeah.
scary.
The Excalibur was certainly a very interesting.
Also, I think that was a really rough matchup, just because like Wizard gets like plus 30 credits during the game, and the deck basically needs those assets on the table to really work.
Yeah, so much free money coming in there off the Wizard ID ability.
Yeah, time for people to just play some grind deck, so Wizard ability doesn't trigger at once. Builder of Nations grinder for next Eternal tournament.
So I think, of course, this is now out in the stream asking us what we thought. I thought the games were very interesting.
Yeah, I was certain that you were basically lost during the part where Copper managed to steal 2 agendas, but almost managed to claw it out. Was really cool to see.
I will say I was not expecting the Swordsman res.
No, I'd forgotten about that card.
Yeah, so
That's a nice include.
I think Swordsman might be doing some sort of resurgence on standard with Amakua being everywhere, but it's still a wild include even there.
So actually the sort of AI tech piece, I think that's interesting in Tinder. We saw a little bit at the EMEA. Was there was a person that was packing a copy of Conundrum.
Ooh.
Yeah, so wait a second, I'll Google that card.
It's +3 strength if it's an installed AI.
Yes.
It's like an enhanced Enigma, basically. Quite expensive, I think. But obviously, against an Amako, it's just ridiculous strength.
Oh yeah, I think King was on that.
Yeah, I think King had a single copy.
I was basically like, during the stream, I was just searching for that card as well.
Which, I think the games are appearing now. Which game are we watching?
Table 3. With
Okay.
Warlock and Mildesorte.
So, RP against Wizard.
I think.
So if you're seeing a lot of Wizard today, is Eternal also having an Anarch problem?
I mean, having looked at the list that Anarch Mushroom published, this makes most sense because everything goes sideways. And we see a 59 card RP Replicate Perfection. So I shoot. Yeah. So they probably play Museum of History because that loop becomes influence free for playing 54 cards or more. That'll be my first assumption. Could be wrong, but that's what I used to assume when you saw 54 cards or more. It seems to be playing 59, not 54.
So I know 59 is a I would say what are the breakpoints for like maximizing the number of 5/3s you can play?
Oh, okay.
Where you just have the lowest agenda density possible, and then like kill them with killing or something.
Yeah. So 8. You're playing what 8 3-point agendas then? If I got my maths right, 24 agenda points.
Yeah, I would think that's correct. Yeah, sounds right.
Yeah. So I did. Of course, curious. So Wowlock, bad pronunciation. Apologies to Mulligan, was Moldsort kept the hand.
Rumor mill coming down.
Yeah.
Yeah, turn 1 runner current has been basically blowing up these games.
This does seem problematic if your plan is to never score an agenda and kill them with killing.
So we see Bloodwort, bioethics. So I think we can take a bit of a guess what this deck is trying to do.
Yes, the grind them down with Bloodwort and bioethics still works.
So it's interesting playing this rather than IG. It's interesting.
Yeah, that's actually like an interesting choice. I would assume IG is a bit more durable, but some runner IDs actually might struggle really much with breaking ice and stuff like that.
Yeah, so you've got a Shins playing some difficult ice.
I would expect some announces and maybe some other big stuff.
Yeah, so we get a Bloodwort trashed immediately.
Oh yeah, if it's museum, it's apparently hard to play in IG because
you're shuffling your cards. Yes. No, that makes sense. Crest is a good point. Yeah, because you're shuffling the cards back basically, so you don't. Archives doesn't have as many face downs. So, yeah. By playing RP, you'll force them to waste a click.
Oh yeah, IG is also eternal pointed as well.
Okay, that's a good point. So yeah, it depends what you want to play. Anik, why aren't you playing in this? I thought you loved Eternal. I'm surprised you weren't playing.
Maybe Anarcho wants to save all of the Eternal tech for Worlds.
Yeah, I mean, I've got my tech I'm working on.
Yeah, I was hoping to just steal one deck from here and play that.
Yeah, I think my team told me I was playing Eternal. I didn't have any real choice in the matter.
Desperado coming online as well.
That's really nice because eventually that's like 1 credit for everything you want to trash. So that's really nice.
It's also 1 credit for things that you check and decide you don't want to trash.
Exactly, yeah. So you can just check everything with getting your value. So
exactly.
And crowdfund, yes, this is getting the key pieces down nice and early.
One thing I'm going to shout out here is we've seen the inclusion of delusional. I thought I saw the price go by, but apparently I was. Okay, they drew it.
Oh yeah. And turtle going down, which means there's 1 less of those in the deck, but Blue Moose giving you infinite econ is probably worth it.
Yeah, because again, that's another 2 credits to start a turn with your Desperado money, with your Wizard credits.
Exactly.
You can hopefully keep on top of this.
Oh yeah, and inject actually being really nice with the Beanie Breakers, because you draw everything else and just trash out every card that you don't actually want in your hand for credits.
Yes. The thing I should mention was we have the price supplementing that, which again, like, especially with the crowdfundings that you can play in Eternal, it's just another thing that gets trashed for value from the stack.
But all of these cards that take cards off top of the stack might end up biting you in the end with Mildesortes deck actually being like a bit of a grinder. So you might run out of cards eventually.
And we finally see the counter coming in first curfew, which makes a lot of sense because it also works with your synergy of what you're trying to do.
Yes, I believe we actually saw an enforced curfew kill earlier, as Andromeda stayed out slightly too late and died to Reaper function, 2 bioethics, and a Bladderwort.
So, Friends in High Places. Oh, I forgot about
that's a nasty card.
Yep. Finally
Just
rotated, but banned for a long time.
And what are you installing here? Turtlebacks and a Bladderwort. Yeah.
Mildestort 10 looking to get the grind back online.
Yep.
And playing Moshing, getting rid of those cards in hand. And a back hat.
Okay, that's nice. Well, you got to steal it.
Well, that's interesting. Losing a medium and MK Ultra is kind of might be rough with you. I'm not sure how many mediums Warlock is on.
Wizard Value coming in big here, trashing the Bladderwort.
Yeah, getting rid of every asset. And crowdfunding also comes online back.
Once Rashida will rebuild Mildesort's hand very nicely.
Yeah, they probably want to get some ice on HQ and either ice on archives or poison archives to stop those. Although, actually, no, because with Replica Infection, they can run archives and jack out, and that counts. So they would actually need to ice archive to make it effective.
I believe you can't jack out if... I don't think you can jack it before access if there's no ice.
Yeah,
no.
I believe so.
Yeah. No, you can jack out. You can jack out.
Yep.
Shipping from Mirror Morph.
Just installing 3 cards. Interesting to see that imported into a deck. I would assume that's more of like a combo piece for some kind of Jeeves deck, but...
So, I mean, this does sort of overtax the runner's clicks.
Yeah, that's might be true. Just installing 3 things and then using 2 clicks to install 2 more might be just like overloading the runner's ability to do everything.
Yeah. So,
especially when they also need to spend 1 click on
the click.
Yep, click makes a lot of sense.
That's basically like a drafter's 1/2, right?
Yes, I mean, obviously, it's on archives, it's key use because it becomes strength 6.
Things that actually start to get really annoying.
But even here, it's good. It's costing
just
them
getting a free
credits.
install is going to be really good. Oh, but find another Fuji. There's...
Ooh. So...
Crick is actually code get, so getting through there for 3. Yes, 3 is still really nasty.
So...
But
now they're on 6 points.
Yeah.
Do they change their game plan? Do they try and just win the game now? Because what we have seen has been no spin doctors, no daily business shows. So agendas have just been building up. If he doesn't run that many,
could be face down on the table, which is a bold decision, but
yeah.
Okay, there is a daily business show. Start making sure HQ remains safe.
So the chat got a few comments saying that Mild was flooded from the, I think in a previous game, and Jarscop saying they don't think they want to see an agenda there. Possibly not, but then in 6 points at least you know you want access away if you get desperate.
I think you take every agenda you can get against this kind of deck.
So I think the math was there were 59 cards, so we thought there was 8 3-pointers.
Yeah. So yes, I think the chat was asking. Yes, I did see a hostile architecture is, or hostile infrastructure. Sorry, there's definitely one somewhere I sort of installed, but it wasn't trashed. So now
going to R&D, just trying to find the one last point that you need.
Yeah, but they got money. They got the Mumba Temple, so they can probably rest some ice if they want. Oh,
and he has to run a central anyways for replicating perfection.
Yeah,
and there's the bane of startup for a long time. People just rolling up with 3 engram flushes.
I might be tempted to go archives instead there, but maybe they want the accesses as well. But
and there's blue moose, medium, and paperclip. So just getting rid of the rumor mill there.
Yeah.
But the information is still really important, just knowing what the runner can deal with. Another Mumba temple getting rest. Or the hostile architecture, yeah.
Infrastructure.
Oh, this is it.
Oh, that's that's for the game.
I think the runners won. They just
you still need to win the Psy game.
No, but they can just keep running back in and just take it. Unless the Corp can shuffle that away, they haven't got the money to keep playing the Psy game.
Oh, that's true.
And England Flash.
Oh, true.
And England Flash won't do any damage. You just don't care.
Yeah, that's right.
Because Engram Flash.
You cannot die to Engram Flash. And guesses correctly.
Okay, sure. That's
Yeah, just find the agendas. I don't.
But then we are 28 cards in.
Yeah, there.
Yeah, it's about halfway.
So yeah, I don't think. Possibly a bit unlucky, but yeah, you've gone for a lot of the deck and haven't had any sort of way to shuffle or mitigate that.
Yeah, you need to get rid of the card somehow. I think.
I think there's a small chance that there's 2 agendas somewhere between the table and the grip, and between HQ and all of the servers and like the top of R&D, but having one on top exactly then is.
And it's just unfortunate as well that they just couldn't. Even if they survived that side game, there was no way out at that point.
And another wizard game right here.
Yeah.
But at least a new corporation ID.
Against CI, in terms of I assume it's going to be the brain rewiring CI.
Yeah.
So tell me about CI. What does CI do?
I think accelerated diagnostics is banned in Eternal, right? Which means that you lose some of your combo routes.
So I did some test games, like a single player test games, and I think I had this deck winning by turn 3 or turn 4. If it's not, and if you don't interrupt it, this is not. So I found it very powerful. You've still got so many violet level clearance, ultraviolet level clearance. Obviously employ.
That might do something. That's just digging R&D.
Yep, and Trash was a big hit. And also Employee Strike is very bad for CI.
Because you might have to discard everything.
Yep. So there we go, and that's short up R&D and got some money.
So clicking for 4 credits, it's 4 cards, instantly card. Yeah.
Yeah, so I think you draw cards, make money. It's
basically
completely
do everything you want to do on a normal turn for 1 card.
Yeah. It's very, very broken with Brian Stinson, because obviously it's 1 click then.
Stop immediately. I don't want to even imagine that. No. Turn 1 ultraviolet.
Yeah.
Emergency con should be sorted for a bit.
Yeah.
Credits will tick up.
But yeah, we've seen this is kind of the most Glacier game we've seen. So
yeah, this is.
It looks like they're actually trying to score out a remote, which is
already 5 eyes on the table.
Yeah. But you have to be careful when you start resing the ice as CI. That obviously that does impact your hand size. So you've really got to make some considerations.
I think Desperado is looking a lot less exciting in this game. Nowhere near as much free stuff to run.
Yeah.
For value.
Yeah, now it's just good, not game bone breaking.
Mhm.
So Jackson Howard. I think it's the first Jackson Howard I've seen all day.
Yes,
I guess because it's
no,
pointed. I guess.
Yeah, there was one on the
someone
first
earlier that
game,
was
but it didn't
Yeah.
do anything there.
Crash
It basically just was.
or something. I think I just got popped melee and shuffled some stuff in.
Yeah, I believe so.
So wow. So CI's drawn on a lot of his deck now, and he's got a lot of money too. I wonder if Wizard will go after the Jackson Howard just to stop them here to just click for 2 cards. I think you kind of have to.
Mm.
As Wizard going after Jackson Howard seems pretty
And
non-committal.
at least Wizard actually clears out the Jackson. Oh, that's also a way to deal with it.
Yeah, I still think there's a chance that the court probably has drawn their countercurrent by now.
Yeah, with that many cards drawn, it's a good possibility.
And they'll definitely be playing one. They have to play one in CI because of employee strike. You just have to have one.
Yeah, you probably instantly lose if you have to discard everything.
Mm.
And
Yep,
there it is.
Yep.
That's an interesting include.
Enhanced login protocol. Oh.
So yeah, this is definitely a proper scoring out Glacier deck. Because it implies they might play border controls maybe, because we've seen apart from Jackson Howard no influence. So make them.
Oh, and
just make.
There's a remote server there.
Oh my goodness!
Also,
so it's City good.
What's that?
And Vovo.
Oh no!
This looks fun.
So, huh?
There's
What's happening?
Okay. Wait, is this an infinite?
I don't know what's happening.
Oh. Is that actually infinite?
Whenever you raise a card, you may raise another card.
And you use Surat City Grid here again on the bloop.
I'm going to yeah. So they're going to do this and they have infinite money, basically.
Yeah.
This is what we came to see.
Okay.
Oh,
I hope that's not that. That's just a disconnect.
Okay.
Okay, I'm here for.
Oh, they rejoined. Okay, good. That was just bad timing from Jane there. So, they got for
1,004 credits. Not sure if that's enough hand size.
Yeah. Okay. So the question is, you've got all this money. So I mean, what's the plan now for winning this game? I guess.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you still need to win the game somehow.
Yeah. So obviously you can just articulate to your heart's content. I mean, if I'm the runner, I just don't know what's happening. Just done. I suppose with the runner infinite credit combo, which would be equally as hilarious if that happened.
But I'm not sure what. I mean, infinite credit as the runner is certainly good, but.
And do you just build out ice now, or do you use some can you use some really inefficient combo to win out?
Yeah, I'm thinking of like lines where you put down wage workers and then biotic 3 times. That's like, is there something here?
And still, like 3 wage biotics doesn't actually let you win out the game still.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just trying to think what you do.
Because
I mean,
even now,
you could play more like keeping his credits up.
So, I mean, yeah, it's whether they're going to try and score out or do something else. We've seen some of the influence now, so we assume there's a few copies of Surat, a few copies of Cybersand Harvester. So, because I was wondering if they're going to play like a mid-seasons kill deck, because then you can just give them like an infinite amount of tags. So maybe it's just a scoring out, play Bartic Labours, play Wage Workers, as I said, and just Jeeves, and just...
Yeah, mid-seasons 4 million credits, and then high-profile target or something like that could also work.
Or what could work, you could play Corporate Troubleshooter and make a vanilla strength 500 if you felt like it.
Just stop the runner completely, but Corporate Troubleshooter was trash ability, right?
It's a trash ability, yeah, so you can use it once, but then you can at least score out once. Put somehow over Advanced Vitruvius, you can bring it back.
I don't know, I'm thinking on the Corporate Troubleshooter note, is there some like...
Oh, there's various texts. There's various ways you can stop it, obviously. I'm just thinking of a way you can just possibly spend all his money on.
Here's one way to stop the vanilla from doing anything. Just banker through it.
Is there some ice that's big enough and has a pinpoint on a face check that if you just go, okay, I'm gonna Corporate Troubleshooter this, and this thing is firing?
So what I used to play in CI was Brainstorm. So that's what I'll be playing straight away, because that does core damage equal to the hand size.
Okay, yeah.
Oh, yeah, that could also work. Yeah.
This is very expensive.
Camp. Sandberg, okay.
Sure. Oh no, stop
that. Sandberg, oh, there we go. That's a piece. That's the missing piece.
Oh no. Yeah, now you just need 2 eyes on every server to stop the banker from doing anything.
Yeah. Score behind ice? Okay, okay.
Oh, no. Yeah, one of my least favorite cards actually doing something interesting for one time.
So someone's just joined the chat. So they used a infinite money combo of using City Grid, Volvo, and Cybersand Harvester to basically res and de-res ice infinitely. Because they got bloop, so they res bloop, de-res something, res bloop, de-res, and so on. Get them armor and Cybersand, and then the ice is costing 0 to res. So
yeah, bankering through that is not fun.
Yeah. Yeah, so there are ways. I think you've got Boomerang, you've got David. Well, that's limited. So there are ways. It's not impossible.
Yeah, it's just going to be really hard to get through some of these servers now. You need some way to deal with ice. That's not based on strength.
Boomerang? I don't know if anyone's on Boomerang, but Boomerang...
There's Boomerang, boat, stuff like that. That could work.
Yeah.
Mildred saying definitely can win from this position, yeah, so... Probably not. If the only option is Bankar, then he just takes double ice of everything. Then that's probably game.
Yeah, if you don't have pinhole or anything like that, or political operatives, it might be really hard. You basically get to check randomly HQ every turn.
So I mean, we've talked about the power of boat to get through this ice. But what about the power of Cipher?
Yeah, Cipher would be good.
Isn't Cipher -6 for the strength?
But I think what makes this deck really good is that all the tech you just don't play because you just don't need it. You don't play Pinhole, you don't play Cipher because you want Desperado. All the other stuff you play, ice is not really a thing. So this is why this deck makes a lot of sense. You just... Who's playing the tech, really?
Exactly. My understanding is that there is a Cipher site list that's floating around, but I don't think it's been a major meta threat. But having this wildly divergent plan. And now, just score in Surfer 3.
Yeah, just...
Put another agenda down. Advance.
Yeah. and get some more clicks.
Yeah, just install advance every turn.
Yeah. I guess I mean, the answer to the one is slim, but obviously if you had like 0 Clan Vengeance, try and mill cards that way.
Yeah, Cloud Vengeance for like trying to hit 15 cards and then instantly running archives. But then Corporation can probably like ice archives for twice. And
actually, Rumor Mill does stomp this as well hard because Sandberg is unique, so Rumor Mill would also be.
Oh, that's also true. Yeah, if you try to set up and then just Rumor Mill on one turn and clear out 0-1.
Yeah, they do have Rumor in the heaps. They are playing it, so that would be the way out of this. It's limited, obviously, because they'll probably get Sandberg back out, but at least got an option then.
Yeah, you
have. Give you a window to get in and do something. Advance. Okay, this is SSL.
I mean, they need the money. They're under 1,000 credits.
Exactly. Money is so important for CI.
Yeah. So Vegas not drawn the Rumor Mills, or are they not?
I think 2 Rumor Mills are already out.
2 in the bin. I didn't see the second one.
Yeah, so I expect there to be 1 more, but you might just set up for it.
Yeah, it's interesting if the Corp is playing Bartic Levick, so they can just finish the game off potentially.
Yeah, just going through one more time.
Yeah.
Another Sandberg.
So yeah.
I think you'd trash it, and then at least if you have another Rumor Mill, it doesn't necessarily come back down immediately.
Yeah, I think Millisort is having a rough time here. I don't think you have many outs.
No. I mean, the runner has got money, so they're able to get a Rumor Mill down. They can very easily run out a day bunch.
But looks like the next turn is going to be the last one.
So yeah.
So if you can get the rumor, if you have a third rumor mill, you might dig R&D for a couple of cards, but
yeah. So we're about to find out if they do have a rumor mill or not.
Oh, that's the rumor mill.
It is the last card in the deck. So
challenging server 1. Do you have enough credits to do this?
I mean, they've got 31 credits.
Yeah, that's true.
So now
it's at least some.
Because you might as well.
But okay, blue is actually just 6, so and
blue is.
Do you actually installing the Black Orchestra here is interesting.
So they've got to deal with 2 bloops, which is going to be pricey because you really can't let the core damage happen.
Yeah, and the program trash is going to be really nasty for you if Corporation gets rid of your medium.
And even just Vegas got rid of on the conspiracy breakers, you still. Yeah.
And whips 9 to fully break.
I think the logic is they've probably got another ELP in hand.
I would expect that. So you might let the core damage fire here because you still have 1 card left in the hand, but It's not a thing you want to do.
Mm.
And then actually getting through server 3 is going to be kind of annoying. At least might be.
Mm. But you kind of have to, though. You got.
Yeah. And I think the corporation did have one more Sandborg in the hand, right?
They trashed one from hand, I believe.
Oh yeah,
they did
it was trashed at least.
Because obviously they were clearly lined up for this play.
Yeah. So there might not be one more.
Oh goodness, they've let it fire. I guess they can take 1 core damage.
Yeah, you can let one fire probably. But do you have enough credits to deal with server 3 is going to be...
Yeah, I mean, he needs to save credits to get into server 3.
Yeah, so I might run server 3 first, because at least you know what server 1 cost was going to be. But server 3 is a bit of a mystery.
Oh, that's going to cost some. That's
6,
9
8
in total, I believe.
8, I think. 2 for the install, 3, 6, yeah. Oh no, yeah, 3, 6, 8, yeah.
3 for install.
3 for
install.
3
for install, apologies, yeah, 9, so apologies.
Yeah.
Forgive MK still. And yeah,
oh, you don't have enough?
Yeah.
But do you let the one of the subroutines fire? You kind of have to, right?
You can't break any of them, you need 6.
You can't break either of them, you need to...
Oh 6. Yeah, Black Orchestra works that way.
Black Orchestra does Black Orchestra things.
So 1 off here.
Yeah, I think you have to go for server 3 first, and this is exactly why. Because, yeah, the Sandberg living is not ideal, but at least you can get 1 agenda. So I may run server 3 and then just run R&D and just try and win that way.
Yeah.
Drawing 0 here.
Yeah. Because the medium one had a token on it, you could have, yeah. There's only vanilla in R&D and something else.
So that's probably the game, right?
I would expect. Yeah. This has advancements on it. It's going to be an agenda. It's going to score.
Yeah, there's the advancements. Oh, and you wouldn't even have enough credits to, even if you could like get through there for a bit cheaper.
So yeah, it's playing 3 SSL, 3 Aqua, and then the
Luminal probably, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yes, that combo was wild.
That's what we want to see in internal, just stuff like that. Just like that's incredible.
Then Millisort is still like playing all of the correct lines to clear out the server and trying to deal with the combo after it's being set up. So without the right cards and finding the rumor mill so late is going to be hard.
Yeah.
That was being the bottom card really didn't help. So yeah.
Yeah, and also discarding one of them early because you do not expect to see this.
Yeah, I do think this meta read from a Warlock was really cool. Everyone's going wide, build something that goes really, really egregiously tall with incredibly high strength ice.
And I think table 2 is still going on, the game there. With Coprobables versus Doves 131.
Yeah, I'm going to drop off now if that's okay. I'm just going to grab some lunch. I'll try and get back in a bit later on. But yeah,
it's really good having you on.
Yeah, no, thanks for inviting me. And I'll try and watch the rest of this. But yeah, that's been great fun. Chat to you all soon.
See ya. Actually having an input from someone who knows the cards. It was really good to get some information, but I think this is just a DLR max, so get DLR max trying to get tags and then just farming data leak reversal. Oh, and there's a judge call here. Oh, this looks like a combo turn, but Mm. I think the
How do we
combo line here
back?
was. I think combo
This is
line here
big.
was something like mutually shared destruction at 2 coster, and then use Malia from that to play blank the paparazzi. That actually stops you from getting killed by the tags.
Hmm.
And I think there was some sort of play error here that forces judge call.
Yeah, it looks like there was potentially an issue with the random discard of the hacktivist meeting.
Oh yeah, you probably don't have a random tool to discard that, so it's a really probably hard thing to do. Like roll back here. Like at least with damage, you know the cards that get damaged out. But like on the corporation side, all of the info being hidden makes this much harder.
Yeah, exactly.
Mm. So going for the mat here. And still, yeah, 1 card left. So just not enough damage. But still, Max might be in problems here with. Oh yeah, just
No.
they don't have enough cards left in the deck, so yeah.
Yeah.
A really interesting game state, but just like dealing with paparazzi and everything on the combo turn is going to be hard. And hacktivist meeting making that even harder, making it's so hard to actually do your combos through that. Yeah, Eternal having 15 million cards and different combos and everything it's going to be hard. And the amount of interruption in some decks in Eternal is just wild. Stuff like Clan Vengeance and everything makes so hard to play some combo decks.
And also, there are just angles and methods of interaction that don't exist in standard or in startup. For instance, like the Clan Vengeance with the HQ discard at paid ability speed.
Yeah, you just cannot do stuff like that. And also I think Eternal is probably having much more ice destruction. You have stuff like Parasite and stuff like Parasite Cipher that you just cannot do in standard. You just have like Chiseled Charm, which is so much less consistent.
And Hippo.
Yeah, Hippo of course, but at least you can play around Hippo.
Right. Exactly.
And there probably are multiple different Eternal strategies that are a bit below like these some asset spam lists that we have seen. There are probably good Titan lists out there, but they might be a bit more inconsistent, so I think there are wild amounts of different variety of decks that are like serviceable in Eternal. It's just about like getting the power level of just playing the top corps against the top runners.
Yes.
That might be hard. If you would compare something like an Eternal Apex deck into a standard deck, I would assume the Apex deck is going to be quite a bit better. And I think there's one game that hasn't been inputted into Cobra yet, but
let's check the.
I think we're going to play one more round after this. And then some sort of top cut. Yeah, looks like everyone swept this round. So standings currently look like Augustus Caesar on 15 points with Warlock on 12 and 3 players after that on 9 points. Yeah, looks like the Cerebral Imaging and Wizard have been doing work here. And like Matti actually doing a huge amount of work.
Yes, with this, that was the political dealing build we saw, correct?
Mm-hmm. Oh, I think the tournament actually ended. Yeah, 6 players. I think most of the players had already played against each other, so.
All right, so I'd like to congratulate our winner, Augustus Caesar.
Yeah, the games we saw from him were great. Like actually making it out almost making it out with Matti was wild, and like I think Standard was really interesting. Seeing all of these weird decks that were wild that you cannot actually do during like Standard games. Stuff like political dealings, Matti, stuff like infinite money, cerebral imaging, sports metal just going wild, and Wizard just absolutely demolishing every asset. And I think they are going to run another Eternal tournament at some point.
Yeah, trying to find the faction breakdown, but I can't seem to find it easily.
On the tournament tabs, I don't think there's a faction breakdown, but there's an ID breakdown. So
there's an ID breakdown, yes.
So 4 Wizards and then 2 Haleys, 1 Max and Andromeda with just 4 different Jinteki decks.
And NBN, unfortunately, not making... not scoring a single win today, although partly that's because they did not bring a single deck today. And
I think NBN probably can do some wild stuff with 24-hour news cycle and different tools. Oh, yeah, next month 10th is the next Eternal tournament. Hope to see people there playing this interesting format. And I think I'll actually try to take more of a deep into Eternal now after seeing these wild decks.
And then I will also shout out, I believe next weekend is Intercontinentals.
Yeah, that's correct. So seeing everybody who played in the Continentals duking it out for the last spot, I think it's double elimination there. So it's going to be
triple elimination for Intercontinentals.
Triple elimination?
That was my understanding.
Oh, that's going to be wild. So it's going to be the last person standing, and they will be crowned the champion. Yeah, do you have anything to shout out?
No, I just wanted to shout out Intercontinentals coming up.
Yeah, I'll probably shout out my YouTube channel. I will do some video tomorrow probably on when to play slow and when to play fast on the runner side, but I'm not sure yet if I manage to do it tomorrow, but I'm at least trying. So I hope everybody had fun, and I hope to see everybody playing Eternal in the future. So see you around.